This video is sponsored by War Thunder. This is my new account, Kinda Slotty. I love filling in the collection log, but I want to take things one step further by limiting my access to it. In order to open up new content, I'm going to have to take advantage of the very few sections that I start with. But I have to be careful, because if I fill in a slot from a page I haven't unlocked yet, it's game over. So join me as I embark on a brand new, unique adventure, unlocking Runescape one page at a time. Welcome to Log Locked. When I finished off the last episode, I said that I wanted to get up to 500 log slots in this one, and I'm sure a lot of people immediately thought, oh, he's gonna do a bunch of clue scrolls. But no, there's a bunch of sections in here that I have not been taking advantage of yet. I really want to stockpile a lot of available unlocks, because there's a lot of stuff I want to do. I'd like to be able to mix up the variety a little bit. This is gonna be a bit of a weird one. The first thing I'm gonna unlock is a new AFK activity that some of you guys have been asking for since the very first day, and that is trouble brewing. Now, even though it's gonna take a long time to get all of these slots, some of them take upwards of 10 to 15 hours once you get to the high tiered flags. This is a 30 slot section. It's one of the huge ones, it's a very profitable one, and it's AFKable. This is going to be my new AFK activity of choice. The thing about trouble brewing is it's actually a pretty simple minigame. Now, there's like a million things you can do here, but there's pretty much just one you actually do here. And that one thing is very simple. You go to the tool workbench, and then you swap the left click of buckets to take 5. You spam click and fill up your inventory. You fill the buckets of water, and you put them in a hopper. That's it. I do that until I've put 100 buckets of water in there, and I'll get 100 pieces of 8. Now, I could actually play the minigame. I could have like 8 accounts set up across multiple worlds to get through this faster, but that sounds sweaty and disgusting, which normally is how I play the game, but not for this. And actually, there was a change recently that was made that makes this even easier for me, because I can go over to this hopper and just use the bucket on it, and they'll automatically use. And you might think, well, yeah, duh, of course they'll automatically use. That's how it works. Actually, not until recently. It was only a couple of months ago at this point where this change was made, before you had to manually use them all in here. And that sucked ass. This makes this grind even better, and I love that. And you might be thinking, what are you gonna do once you have 100 buckets of water? Well, let me finish this up and then I'll show you. Are you ready for the big explanation? This is what I'm doing. Absolutely nothing for 15 more minutes. That's it. I just wait here. I'm mostly saying this to give you guys some perspective on the fact that there are a lot of slots here, and this is AFKable, which is fantastic, but it is a very, very long minigame to complete, though. Better than some of the other ones like LMS, Guardians of the Rift, and whatnot, but it still takes a while. And as you see, once the game is completed, I get 100 pieces of 8. Funny thing is, you can't even actually take these into the game with you. You have to throw them in the bank chest right here. But luckily for me, there are some cheap things here. These rums only cost 20 each. They're actually just teleports to get here, so let's pick both of those up. And then the stuff costs 50. I could explain to you guys what all of these do. Realistically, just like most items in the collection log, they don't matter very much. They're just in the collection log. Would you take a look at that beautiful screen right there? 100 pieces of 8 were awarded to me. You wanna know how many times I've done this? A lot of times. More times than I can count, actually. And a few times I've even messed up because I've gone AFK too hard. How many pieces of 8 do I have, you might be asking? I have over 30,000 of them. Yeah, I've been here a while. I'm sure at this point my editor has probably put the math on the screen, but in case he hasn't, here you go. 100 pieces of 8 per game, 20 minutes per game, about 1 minute wait between games if I'm hopping worlds, 30,000 pieces of 8. Yeah, over 100 hours of this. I have had my focus very heavily on my other account, and just a bunch of IRL stuff has been coming up lately, so yeah. I did say this was the episode where we're going to get a lot of collection log slots, as is the point of the series. We need to get to 1,000, and we're about to get a huge chunk of the way there. I'm just going to go down the line. Let's start buying things. One item at a time, and I have to wait for this stupid thing to go away. I think if I go into resizable, it actually hides, yeah, okay, it hides the stuff behind it. But you can just look at my chat, and this is going to be incredibly satisfying for everybody, because we all like seeing the collection log dopamine, and there's about to be a lot of it. I don't really know what else to commentate here. I didn't even put this in the video, man. I'm gonna be honest, I don't know what else to commentate here. I spent a ton of time here, but that is every single naval outfit purchased, and before anybody asks, you can't return these. You can't sell them back to the shop. At least you couldn't before. If they changed it, I'm going to be really sad. Not going to lie, I panicked for a second there thinking they might have changed that when they changed the ability to AFK, put the water buckets in the thing, but they didn't. 12,641 pieces of 8 left. You might be thinking, well, that's got to be enough to finish out the entire log. And unfortunately, you would be wrong, because these flags are very expensive. And in fact, I still need to buy 2 more, one of which costs 5,000, one of which costs 6,000. skeleton. We still have like 30 to 40 hours of AFKing here to finish this log, and that's something I might take advantage of in the future. However, we're up to 483 collection log slots now. That is insane. And this is going to keep popping up in the background for a while. Actually, yep, it's still going. I'll be back in a minute. Some of the other miscellaneous items I went for this week were things like tanks, planes, and... Alright, come on, let's be real. You guys know I'm talking about today's video sponsor, War Thunder. War Thunder is by far the most comprehensive vehicle game ever made, and is totally free to play on PC and consoles. And when I say comprehensive, I really mean it. Like, there are over 2,500 tanks, planes, helicopters, and ships of 10 major nations. Even things like biplanes, armored cars, and present-day fighter jets. And it's not just quantity in this game, it's all about quality too, because every vehicle is super detailed, from the graphics all the way down to the individual components, with even authentic sound effects. When your vehicle or an enemy's vehicle gets destroyed, you can see exactly where it was hit and how the damage impacted you and your vehicle's components. On top of all of that, there are tons of different game modes like arcade for fast-paced matches, simulator mode for huge challenges, and realistic mode where things are realistic. As if all of that wasn't enough, there's a new update coming called Seek and Destroy that's going to bring in a bunch of cool things like super detailed radar mechanics, active radar homing missiles to go with it, and the Benelux aircraft. So why not jump in and give it a try with some of the other 70 million players enjoying the epic PvP battles today. Seriously, check the links down below or scan that QR code on your screen now to support the channel and download War Thunder. New users and players who haven't jumped on in 6 months also get a massive bonus pack which has 100,000 silver lions, an Eagle of Valor skin, and 7 days of premium account time. Grab it quick though, because the offer is limited. Now back to RuneScape. Alright, I think that's finally the last collection log pop-up, so I can start doing things again. Go over here. There's a bunch of stuff I can unlock now. Believe it or not, there's a couple things I've had my eye on that I just keep forgetting about doing when we're talking about just gaining log slots and progressing the series. And one of the big ones is actually Fossil Island Notes section. This is 10 slots that are honestly almost free. I'll be right back when I show you guys how to get these. Oh yeah, when I say this is free, this is gonna be pretty free. I don't think I'm gonna need this many, but 350k, buy a bunch of Nunley, and then you head over to Fossil Island. Once you teleport up here, you go down to this the basement area, and there are these chests all around the room over here that can be opened. If you search them, it requires that you insert a Numulite in it, and then I think after that it costs like 100. Yeah, 100 each time, and boom, there you go. There's already one scribbled note, and you just kind of keep doing this. You can take some damage, but you just keep spam clicking, and I'm just gonna leave this clip running so you guys can just see me get all 10 of these slots. You can't actually get duplicates here either, which is super nice, by the way. And there we go. That's 10 things. It should be the entire thing filled out. Look at that. Fastest green log you will ever see in your life. Musty smelling note. I'm not going to make the joke. I'm not going to do it. Speaking of notes, there is another section of the collection log that I kind of hovered over earlier that a lot of you guys probably figured out I want to do. And that is the My Notes section. That's the next thing I'm going to pick up since the Fossil Island notes just paid for itself. Costs 10, gain 10 back. The My Notes section, actually even better. There are 26 log slots in here. Problem with this, unless it's been changed since the last time I've done it, these ones, you can get duplicates, but there's a pretty decent way of doing this. So the My Notes section is essentially just tertiary drops you can get while killing things in the Waterfall Dungeon by Otto's Grotto up here near Barbarian Assault. All the Mithril Dragons and other stuff you fight down here have a chance of dropping them. However, there's also skeletons you can rummage to have a chance of getting them too. And the skeletons are, let's just say, much faster. I could technically consider this a passive grind by AFKing Mithril Dragons or something, but that sounds absolutely miserable and they're actually pretty much no money. So I might as well take the more direct approach. Ironically, the first step to the direct approach is standing still and doing nothing. You might be wondering what I mean by that, but a lot of you guys are familiar with the RuneScape concept of aggression timers. And aggression timers are just certain blocks of RuneScape where if you're standing in them for a certain amount of time, NPCs will stop being aggressive to you. The NPCs I'm looking to no longer be aggressive are all of the ones over here, the water fiends that I will walk down here and show you guys. Basically, I have to make sure that I have these two areas opened up and counted towards my aggression timer. Then I just go back up the stairs and wait 10 minutes. Turned on these little area lines just so you guys can kind of understand the concept a bit more. But as you see, as long as I stay within this area and once this timer on my screen goes down to 0, I can walk over here and nothing will be aggressive to me anymore. That's it. That's the goal. That's step 1. All right, so now my aggression timer is gone. I should be able to just hop worlds really quick. Now, once I walk down here, nothing should be attacking me. I should be good to just walk right over here to the skeleton. If I remember correctly, there's a tile I can stand on. Just have to try to remember which tile it is. where I will not get aggroed by things that can potentially spawn. When I rummage the skeleton here, there are a few things that can happen. Option 1, the good option, I get a collection log slot, which is fantastic. That's what we're here for. Option 2, I just take some damage based on my current HP. Option 3, I spawn one of these guys over here, the skeleton warlords, and it starts attacking me. Gotta try and figure out what the right tile is here. As you can see, it turned into a skeleton hero, but he can't hit me here. So what am I gonna do? I'm gonna be a little bitch, and I'm gonna world hop away. This is what I have to do every single time. I wanna say it's like 1 in 12 chance to get a page. I can also get some mangled bones. I took 20 damage there, so that kind of sucks. That's why my inventory is full of brews. I'm gonna keep a couple of these mangled bones because they're needed for elite steps. Here's an example of a duplicate ancient page. I go to copy it. I didn't get a log slot for it when it came up. You can get duplicates of these. I don't think it actually shows them in this section. It does not. It only shows individuals. But unfortunately, there is no dupe protection here. This is just one of those things where it's really old. It's been in the game for a really long time, and it can be kind of slow. Towards the end, at least. The beginning should still be pretty fast. I should get a lot of relatively free, quote-quote, log slots from this. So definitely still something worth doing early. I actually don't know if you can get pages when you have a full inventory, so I'm just gonna be clearing out my inventory out of pure paranoia. Hey, there we go. That is another ancient page in my 500th collection log slot, so we are officially halfway to the goal. I mean, like, it's still substantially harder than the first half, but it's progress, baby. Hey, there we go. Accidentally teleported out a couple of times there, decided to come back with some prayer potions instead. That is now me up to 510 collection log slots. And I do still have quite a bit of the mine notes section left to complete. I'm still missing 9 notes, but it does get substantially slower at this point, so I don't really want to sit here and just camp this for like 6 to 10 more hours. Might have even taken longer on my other account. I genuinely do not remember. I want to move on, do something a bit more interactive. And that bit more interactive thing is actually Camdozel. Another thing that's just going to be essentially, quote, free collection log slots because it has 10 available slots in the section, cost 10 to unlock it. I haven't headed over here in a long time, so let's go check it out. So Camdozel is a free-to-play area. It has a bunch of various training methods. As a member's account, it really doesn't provide much at all aside from a equipable hammer and a couple of museum kudos, but the area itself is actually really cool. It's really well designed and has just some interesting mechanics. I feel like a lot more people have seen this now that you have to actually run through here to get to the Desert Treasure 2 boss. It's still a cool area. I actually really like it. So the majority of the items you actually get from Camdozel are from mining these baronite rock deposits over here and then smashing them on an anvil. We'll get to that part in a second. This part is just essentially motherload mine. It's just sit here and mine stuff. So I remember this taking a decent bit of time, but shouldn't be too bad. And the system here is pretty simple. I'm actually probably going to get a dialogue option here. Oh, okay, no dialogue option. Once you have an inventory of the baronite deposits, you just come over to this little anvil here and smash them. If you don't get one of the uniques, you get given baronite shards, which I'll explain what they're used for once I have more of them. That's just rinse repeat until you have the uniques from mining. I think there's like 5 or 6 from mining, actually. It's kind of nuts. Hey, there we go. There's our first item from here, the Ancient Astroscope. It gives me 1 museum kudo. Nice. Ooh, there's a... Wait, that's not a collection log slot. Really? Okay. I think the hammer is not a collection log slot until I use it on wherever this guy is. I'll find him in a second. Well, in the same inventory, I just got another one, so I hope there's some kind of use to these things. Apparently, this little doofus just sits out here until you actually talk to him, and then he goes inside. So, let me get that done first. Alright, here he is. So now I think if I use this hammer on him... Yes. Sure, go ahead and repair that one. Boom. There is our Imcando hammer, and then I think these extra ones I can actually turn in for some baronite shards. Yeah, give me some baronite shards for it. How many do I get? 350? Sure, why not? Not bad. Well, I now have an equipable hammer, the only technically useful thing from this place. Cool. I still have 8 collection log slots to go, though. Look at that. First inventory after logging back in. Didn't expect to get anything, but that is another random museum thing. It's a log slot, though. So the thing about these baronite shards is I can actually fuel. Boom, I'm gonna put 3,000 in here. And then if I go to the forge, go to Romerno, I lied, it's not the forge. I can actually get buffs for this area. So for example, I'm gonna start with this mining one. Boom, I now have 10% higher chance of mining these things. Awesome. That's really it. It's just minor area buffs to this location. It's actually really weird and it's an interesting concept. I'm surprised they haven't explored further with other stuff, but I kind of like it. Hey, there's another item, the Baronite Head. It's a piece of the Baronite Mace, which is, again, free to play. It's kind of useless, but hey, It's an item. Next thing on the docket is luck. Wish I could buy this at other places in the game, but it's just straight up 5% better chance to get items. In my life, did I anticipate having to hop while doing Baronite deposit farming in Camdozel? Oh my god, there's another one? Are they bots? Or is it just coincidence? I've never seen another player mining this in my life. That was weird. Pause? Oh. Hey, there is the Ancient Ledger. Been a minute since I've had a new item, so that's nice. I actually got a mining level here? Wow, alright. That's something. Hey. Oh my god. This is gonna sound kind of dumb, but I've been pretty dry here, and it's kind of nice to see something. Like, look at this. I've had 5 of these, 4 of these, 4 of these. I think I've had 7 hammers, but it only shows the ones you actually finish, so that's nice to see, man. And I also just got another one of these things, too. I just need the Ancient Globe from this, and then I can finally move on to the other 2 activities, which should not take nearly as long. Mining, for some reason, is like 90% of the time here. I don't really know why, but it is. Hey, there we go. Finally, the Ancient Globe. Dude, I've been here for probably 12 hours or something insane at this point. Glad to have that done. All right, so now I can finally move on to doing the fishing and combat portion of this, which should hopefully not take nearly as long. All right, so now we're just trying to finish up the Baronite mace, and I get one of the pieces from fishing. There is a method where you sacrifice stuff to the altar up there, and I think you get some prayer XP or something, but that doesn't actually give you a chance of getting the item, so I'm just gonna fish stuff and drop it. Hey, there we go. That was quick. That literally took me 5 minutes compared to the other grind. That was very nice. Now we have the combat portion. Oh, there we go. The Baronite Guard. God, that took a while. I mean, I guess this isn't the worst place to go unlucky on, but I was here for 3 hours on 4 or 5 times the drop rate. That was brutal. All right, and with all of that done, I can now head over to the bank here, take out the other 2 pieces of the Baronite mace, and then I should probably grab out all of these Baronite shards as well, because I really don't want them taking up a space in here. I'm pretty sure if I go over to Robert, what the fuck's this guy's name? Romarno, Robert, I was pretty close, and I use this on him, I can make the weapon. Boom. And that is the Baronite mace completed, and that is the entirety of the Camdozel log done. Nice. Oof, God, looking at those dupes is a little rough, but as you can see, it did take me quite a while to be done here, but we managed to get it all done, and not sure what I want to do now, so I'm gonna look around and figure something out. Okay, and even though this thing does actually, in my opinion, look kind of nice, I like to really like plain simple stuff. It's garbage. It's, I think, equivalent to a rune mace or something like that. It's not that good. Well, I just remembered that I have a Black Demons task that I can go do at the Demonic Gorillas, so I think I'm gonna head back over there and hope we can make a little bit of money. We have had a pretty decent bit of luck there already in terms of our Zenites, so really not expecting to get anything, but, you know, if we get a monkey tail, we're just done there. That'd be pretty sick. Dude, I love demonics. According to the game, 10 million. According to OS, I almost said OS, buddy. Oh my god, I'm old. According to Runelight, 12.16 mil. That's pretty good, dude. I am very lucky on these things, and I'm definitely not complaining. I also really don't mind demonics these days. I mean, I don't want to go do another 800 in a row like I did, or 400 in a row, whatever, like I did in the other video, but they're pretty chill these days, considering you don't really have to think. You just have to wait till you see their overhead text to know when to change styles. Pretty relaxing. I kind of like it. Oh my god, I love demonics. I am insanely lucky here on this account, and it is, wow. This is one of those situations where I honestly don't recall a single time I've ever been this lucky, so I don't know if I even, this is going to sound kind of ass backwards to some people, I don't know if I even want to come back here after this task, even if I don't fully finish the log. I just don't see this RNG continuing to be this good. According to my loot tracker, which might not be entirely accurate, but I have a second here, I do have aggro right now. If we go over to Gluff's experiments, I have 583 kills and 5 Zenites. They're 1 in 300. That's freaking nuts, dude. That's actually freaking nuts. Alright, well, that is the entire task done at Navmacs, and honestly, I feel like it's a pretty great way to wrap this video up, considering just how insanely lucky we got once again here. And, you know, 84,000 Slayer XP is not too bad. We're getting kind of close to the actual Slayer bosses, which might be something I want to start focusing on. And just a quick reminder to you guys to make sure to download War Thunder via the link down below or QR code on screen. You get a bunch of free stuff if you're a new player or returning player, and it helps the channel a lot. Either way, though, made a lot of money and passed well over 500 collection log slots, so still a long way to go, but this is a pretty good midpoint. Happy with how far the account's gotten so far, and I'm excited for the future of it. I'll see you guys next time. Peace out.